In a world Governor Jay Inslee describes, and Mayor Jenny Durkin, and all of the city council members here in the Pacific Northwest, led by Seattle, Washington, apparently, it seems now. And more importantly, for the sake of the children, the kids, the young people, I've spent time with nannying and mentoring in shelters. Jails and corners downtown. Philosophy and ideology need to be eliminated and removed from the process to solve the problem. There's no real benefit to being told repeatedly about some man and some feminist writer from the 60s and 70s who found out how to describe the vagina in 100 different contexts, and how the politics make the masses suffer from the capitalism inherent in the demands for the business and the economic benefit for the rich bourgeois. Now, there's plenty of therapists available to hear some theoretical explanation for the language and the dialect, the grammar and the linguistics of an accent and a posture and a gesture from a behavior now. The people who will eventually build and engineer and fix the transportation pollution are at home from the coronavirus pandemic. And those people who are going to teach them in college are breaking windows and rioting and demanding they want socialism to enforce their Sharia law and those white racist supremacists to die and go to hell now. Children don't have a civilization to look towards for guidance. They have rules and restrictions and limits their grandparents had when they were growing up in the 50s. From the psychology and the psychiatry, cigarette smoking doctors in the hallways of the hospitals where they did shock treatments and gave out mood stabilizing drugs and emotional assistance. Now, anybody who goes and takes a book off a shelf to start a war, to make violence to help those poor and suffering are liars, thieves, gangsters, and thugs, passing and forgetting about the textbook about quantum mechanics and engineering practices for geological disturbances. Too much CO2 in the atmosphere, earthquakes and disasters, tourniquets needed, and first aid assistance. With the neurology concussion protocol. There's no answers to what the people on Capitol Hill in Seattle, Washington, and other really helping locations provide. They're not in the classroom saying to that stupid idiot with the jacket and the button-down shirt with the vest on and the card that they carry in their wallet they said they got from the organization who has all of the information, and saying to the data-driven chemist in the lab they want to cure cancer and they don't need more forms of emotional practice. They don't need biopsychology. They don't need more methods of scientific understanding and knowledge. They need a vaccine so that children can go learn about how to live in the world where there's wolves and there's violent criminals and legal frustration and no food. Angry, large groups of gathering minds and mental, social workers, counselors who comfort and cuddle their patients and clients and stare and observe their gestures and their posture. Kids who need to learn how to cook and not only consume for stimulation and appreciation for euphoria, harmony and joy, bliss and forever now. Young people who need to know consciousness does not have to be a drug, a ritual, a habit, and has more to do with a process in the body with the brain included. And the only tactic and the only strategy they will ever need to overcome the defeat has to do with the mind. Energy, endurance, vitality, strength, and power to say to the bully, they are weak, they are incorrect, and they are wrong, and need help, need assistance, and should seek those services now. The end.